Hi, welcome to Nona's Here. I'm Nona, and today I have 3 fun, easy, and budget-friendly Halloween crafts. Most all of my supplies came from Dollar Tree. So let's get started. For my DIY number 1, I'm making a Halloween board. So I have this long board, and I'm going to use the back of it. For my craft supplies to put on the board, I have this big orange spider, some small spiders that came in a pack of 6, there's the big orange spider, some witches' hats that came in a pack of, there's the black cats that came in a pack of 8, some witches' hats that also came in a pack of 8, and some pumpkins that came in a pack of 8. I'm going to use some spackling, and some purple poster letters to put on the board. I'm going to use some fern chalk paint to paint the board. I'm going to use some spackling to fill in those little holes. I'm going to use some ink chalk paint to paint the hats and the cats. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the board with the fern chalk paint. When I get that done, I'm going to paint the cat and the witches' hats with the ink chalk paint to put on to decorate the board. So there I am, I'm painting the cat and the hats, all with the ink chalk paint. Next, I'm going to show you that I painted the cats and the hats with the black ink. Now I'm taking some purple acrylic paint and I'm just dry brushing the board to give it a little bit of texture because the green fern just looked really flat and I want to give it a little bit of depth. So I'm just dry brushing the board with some purple, which is a good color to use. Alright, so now I've got my silver Sharpie ink pen and my gold Sharpie ink pen, and I'm going to decorate those witches' hats with a band and a belt, and to give the cat an eye. So after I've done that, now I'm just sort of laying things out on the board to get an idea of how I want them to look when I glue everything down. So now I've got it kind of figured out how I want it to look when it's all done. I'm using some wood glue to glue the hat, cat, and spiders down. I always like to lay things out first to make sure it's all going to fit and looks kind of balanced. And I have Happy Halloween in the purple poster letters down. So now I'm going to put the cat. I'm only using 1 cat and 1 hat. I put the others away to use for a different project. And you can see I have some of the things coming off the side of the board and the top of the board because I like to do that. It kind of draws the eye up and down the board so that you see the whole thing. So there it is, and we'll take a better look at it in the final reveal. I want to introduce our hosts today, Ellie from DIY from House to Home, Lisa from Our Gray House, and Moxie from Life with Moxie is our guest host. I'll be sure and include their links to their channels in the description box down below. You'll want to be sure and check out their channels, and they'll have the main playlist of all the creators who are joining in today. You'll want to be sure and check out the playlist because you'll get lots of ideas for Halloween DIYs. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd consider doing so today. It's free. Just click on that subscribe button and the bell next to it and the word all. That way you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. Also, if you like my video, I'd appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up like. Okay, on with the show. On to DIY number 2. Now, if you've been with me before, you know I'm no artist, but I wanted to try and take a canvas and make it into a Halloween picture. So I picked up this very simple canvas of a golden tree. And I took this little bottle and made a circle at the top that I was going to try and make it into a moon. And it's light, the canvas is light in the background. And those are the colors that I was going to start to make the moon with. And I'm going to use some elephant ink chalk paint and some white and some silver and some ink black chalk paint. Okay, so and some blue. I was going to add some blue. So I was going to take the dark colors and color in the background to make it a night. And you can see where I took yellow and made the circle into what I was hoping would look like a moon. And now I'm coloring in the light background behind the tree to make it look like a night. And that's a makeup brush that I was using. And now I've painted in some little white ghosts, and I used my black thin pen top Sharpie, and I put eyes and mouths on my ghost. And then I drew a cat down in the corner there. That's supposed to be a cat. And then I took my orange Sharpie and changed the moon to an orange color, which I thought was brighter. Take a little closer look at that in the final reveal. Okay, on to DIY number 3. Again, everything came from the Dollar Tree. So I have this cone-shaped styrofoam piece. I have this little white pumpkin that I was already painted white because I had used it in another craft. And I have this leftover mop string. And I tied a rubber band around the top. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to try and use that to make a ghost. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to stick the pumpkin in the top of the cone. And I'm going to put the long string of the mop over the pumpkin and glue it down and make a ghost. Okay, that's my idea. So, and then put the pumpkin on top of the cone. So, the first thing I have to do is I have to glue. I've taken all the string down and it's hanging down over my hand. So now I'm going to take the bottom of the pumpkin and I'm going to put a lot of hot glue on it. And I'm going to glue the pumpkin to the long part of the string. Remember, all the string is hanging down over my hand. So there I go. I put the pumpkin on the long part of the string. And now I'm going around gluing the pumpkin, making sure it's going to stick to that long part of the string. And, okay, there I got the glue a little bit too close to my hand underneath. So now I'm going to flip it over, and there's the string hanging down over the pumpkin, okay? So, now I didn't show you that part, but see all that string hanging up there? Well, I had to use my heavy-duty scissors and cut all that string over the top off, and I cut it way down short as much as I could. And let me tell you, that mop string is not easy to cut. It's very thick cotton. All right, so I pull the string down. Now I have to put something on top to cover that. So, now I'm going to take the hot glue and I'm going to glue around that rubber band to make sure that the top of the string doesn't come loose. So I'm gluing all around to make sure. Now I have this witch's hat that's on a stick. And my idea was, see, you can see where I've cut the top down, way down. And my idea is to stick the witch's hat down in, but it was way too thick to do that. So I pulled the pick out and just hot glued the witch's hat to the top of the ghost. And there was one part, string was a little thicker, so I made that the front, tilted the witch's hat down, and added 2 googly eyes to the front. And that's my ghost. So let's take a look at the final reveal. My first craft was the long Halloween sign using the big orange spider, the little spiders, the black cat, and the witch's hat. I think it came out real cute and certainly a craft anyone can do. I also used the purple poster letters. My next craft was taking the golden tree canvas, painting in the black night and putting some little ghosts in the tree, an orange moon, and that thing down in the right-hand corner is supposed to be a black cat. Use your imagination. My painting skills and drawing skills are not the best. And my last craft was my ghost, and I used the mop string. Next time I would use more mop string. Where the mop was a little thicker, the string was thicker, I used the front. I put the witch's hat at a slight tilt and used 2 googly eyes. Because I really didn't use enough string, I did like the ladies do with long hair. I pulled it all towards the front. But I think it came out okay. In fact, I think it's quite cute. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon at Nona's Here.